Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. A beautiful Monday afternoon. The Parkles have left Nigeria. They are possibly sitting at Heathrow waiting for their connecting flight to LA. And I say that because guest speaker has been busy in the comments section on the New York Post. And that's always a bit of a clue that says some dead time that can possibly be filled by one of the Parkles or one of the people Parkle adjacent. Anyway, we're going to have a retrospective and we're going to see how the tour went, not from the Parkle point of view because they obviously thought it was fabulous, but we're going to look at it first of all from the royal family's point of view, and we're referring to a Neil Sean story, and we have to say allegedly that Harry and Meghan will be presenting a sizzle reel to Buckingham Palace. And we know that they were towing their own camera crew around, so it's plausible they're going to be sending like a highlights reel to Buckingham Palace to show Buckingham Palace how good they are at royaling, what the royals are missing out on by not allowing Harry and Meghan to do their half in, half out thing, and see what we can do for you. We know you're desperate, we know you're man down, woman down, and see how good we are at this. So that's what we're going to be looking at. And certainly they're pumping out propaganda, pushing this narrative. Tina Brown, who's very Parkle, pro-Parkle royal reporter or writer, author, says there is a Harry-shaped hole in the monarchy. Another royal expert says Buckingham Palace lacks the effervescence and excitement that the Parkles brought to royal events. And yet another said that Meghan Markle's tour of Nigeria was positively presidential. Do the royals agree? Will they agree when they get the sizzle reel? Apprentice tarot on the tarot table for this one. It's the learning tarot. I thought it was appropriate. Have the Parkles learned a lesson? Has Buckingham Palace learned a lesson? Who's going to emerge from this little scenario making the right choice? Let's call it that. So it's a slightly different spread that I've cooked up for today because we're going to be looking at the Nigerian perspective in the second reading. So we're going to look at how the royals feel about each of them, Harry and Meghan, and then in general their behaviour, because there have been rumours about their behaviour, their appearance, pretty bedraggled, behaviour, turning up an hour late to events, looking like they might be a little bit out of it at some events, but rude, but disrespectful. So behaviour, their presentation, their appearance, their motives for doing this, because very interestingly it was supposed to be all about the Invictus Games, but the Invictus Games Foundation has not posted anything about this Nigerian gig on their official social media. Very interesting. We'll be following up on that tomorrow, probably. I think we're good to go. And then, was it really good or really bad as far as the royals can see? And are the royals changing their minds and thinking maybe Harry and Meghan do deserve to be royals and we can't live without them? Or are they, dear Lord, never force me to watch anything like that ever again? And of course, it is all just tarot for fun and entertainment. It's all just my opinion and speculation, and I just read energy here. Of course, disclaimer in the box below. I'm having to stop and think because yes, this weird looking spread is a concoction of mine just for the day. We have messaging as the underlying energy. I'll guide you through the reading, and it does hopefully make sense. Well, it will hopefully make sense to you. 8 of Wands is communication. Is very possible that Neil Sean is right to some extent, that there really is some kind of messaging going back to Buckingham Palace. See how good we are. Look at this highlights reel of our wonderful performance and how many people clapped and cheered for us. Maybe we're forced to clap and cheer for them. And look at us and look how magnificent we are. So that is interesting energy. It's also a bit of propaganda in there as well, messaging who who gets their narrative out. And the Parkle narrative, as I say, has been going out loud and strong, pumping it out. You're not allowed to comment in those articles. If you do, your comments get deleted. Allegedly, people are complaining about this, and not only that comment gets deleted, but the whole account gets deleted. Censorship at its finest, courtesy of the Parkles. What do we have here as our situation? We're looking at silly ideas, still learning, intellectual novice. It's the Page of Swords. It's a Page of Swords in reverse. The Page of Swords is the little research person, the one who's studying things, doing their research, investigating, and particularly when it's in reverse, this is the person who's busy on social media. What did I say? There seemed to be some downtime. That guest speaker was able to start commenting in the New York Post comment section, and we all know who we think guest speaker might be, or might be very closely associated with, allegedly. There it is. Page of Swords in reverse. This is pushing out a narrative, preparing, being very strategic, being very cunning about the messaging, but also being on high alert for any dissenters and getting ready to smack the dissenters down. For me, with that Page of Swords, that's how it reads for me. We are in the Apprentice Tarot, so this tarot deck is quite keen on the notion of learning in here. Maybe. Let's see, because we're really looking at this situation from the royal family's point of view. We know the underlying energy, we know the heart of the matter. What do they think of Harry's performance in Nigeria? He got to look more and more sour-faced and crumpled as the days wore on. What did they think? Oh my goodness, they couldn't bear to look. Five of Cups, grieving a loss, hard to see the positive, prolonged gloom. Yeah, that's their feeling. Watching it was hard to watch. I'm sure that someone had to take the pain and do it for them. I'm sure that the King himself didn't watch. I'm sure that Prince William and the Princess of Wales didn't watch. Maybe some of the other royals might have volunteered for the ghastly task of checking in every day, or if the sizzle reel does arrive at Buckingham Palace, somebody will have the thankless task of watching it and reporting back. But it's painful to see, and they're watching through their fingers, basically. Can't bear to look, can't believe that life has got so bad. There is a lot of sorrow in here, a lot of pain, genuine pain for the way things are going. And you only have to look at Harry there in Nigeria and see how uncomfortable he is, how awkward, how ridiculous the whole situation is. This is my opinion, admittedly, but this is what I'm picking up, that he looks uncomfortable, sometimes angry, sometimes quite intimidated, bored, restless, hungover. All my opinion, of course. Some of the events looked particularly ridiculous, staged even. People speculate that the visit to the alleged hospital was completely fake. It's uncomfortable viewing. What do they think about Meghan when they have to think about her? Two of Wands. This is somebody who, it's the planning and plotting card. Somebody who's got a plan. Somebody who is out for global domination. Always for me, these Two of Wands, when they show up in these royal readings, have that kind of vibe, because traditionally, as in this tarot deck, which is a very traditional tarot deck, Rider-Waite deck, there is somebody with the globe in the palm of his hand, gazing out to sea with a strategy. He's got a plan for global domination. And so they look at it and they think, this is all her doing. She needs this. She needs to look important. She's plotting and planning. Allegedly, Archewell Foundation is in terrible trouble with US regulators, has been served a delinquency notice for not filing returns on time. It might be on the brink of collapse. The Netflix deal might also be on the brink of collapse. This is somebody who is scrambling to come up with a new idea and trading on her royal associations, her alleged Nigerian ancestry, and all the rest of it to get this thing going. So they see it for what it is. It's a minor card. This is not a huge menace as far as they're concerned. It's pretty much to be expected at this point. This is the the card that I keep coming back to and almost can't look away from at this point. So in general, Parkle behavior, how did they acquit themselves? Six of Wands, it was a disaster, it was a wreck, bad reviews, arrogance, just seeking praise and fame. It's the narcissist card. The Six of Wands can be upright, victory, triumph, full return, well-deserved, all of that kind of stuff. In reverse, very narcissistic, very much about self-aggrandizement, self-congratulation, ego, but it's also pride going before a fall. The Six of Wands in reverse, very arrogant, very smug, and there could be a big pratfall coming along quite soon. A lot of people are speculating that the Parkles are trying to get ahead of bad news by doing these things and trying to rabble rouse and trying to get the Commonwealth behind them, anyone who's basically non-white in the Commonwealth behind them at this point, to try and make it very difficult for anybody who comes up with some ugly truths about Meghan and Harry to gain any traction without looking terribly racist. That's speculation, and I'm in the camp that tends to subscribe to that idea as well. So my opinion that I am just expressing here. How about their appearance? Bedraggled, crumpled, half naked or three-quarters naked. What do the royals think of it? This is the choice card, the decision card, the Two of Swords, and when it's upright, it's like, okay, I can't see which way to go. I'm at a crossroads. We often get this energy at the moment. When it's in reverse, for me as a reader, I don't tend to really go with those keywords of indecision and confusion. I get more the idea that someone has made a provocative choice, a decision, to be as provocative as possible for whatever reason. To go down this difficult road. They're not going to go down the road of dressing like a traditional royal, very discreet, very elegant, not showing skin, basically, always dressed in a particular kind of a way. This is, no, I'm going to go down a different path with this, however provocative it is and however difficult it is, and stuff you, basically. That for me is the energy that's coming through that Two of Swords, and the royals are looking at it and thinking, yeah, we can see exactly what she's up to, and trying to provoke and trying to draw a response and trying to wound and trying to shock. That's my reading of this card. What about their motives for doing this? As I say, the Invictus Games Foundation doesn't really seem to be supporting this or reporting it. Is it about money? Is it about attention? What do the royals think they're up to? Power grab. Three of Pentacles is about money. Team building card. Working with a group for financial reward. So they're seeing this as trying to build up their brand again. So it's not that sinister. I personally would put a much more sinister card there if it was my opinion. Well, not my opinion, if we were trying to figure out my opinion. We know my opinion. Three of Pentacles. Team building their brand, trying to shore things up because things are falling apart quite badly behind the scenes. Harry might get kicked out of Invictus. Meghan might get kicked out of the Netflix deal, like she was out of the Spotify deal. And on it goes. Archie well a bit on the brink of collapse, allegedly. I have seen the paperwork. People have posted the paperwork on social media, the notices from the relevant authorities in the United States. So this is not rumor, this is fact about Archie well. So trying to shore themselves up, trying to make new alliances with people, influential people. Lots of money around in Nigeria. Tons of poverty too. But there are people who have access to enormous sums of money and enormous influence as well. So they're trying to align themselves with those people, as far as the royal family can tell. So overall, what did they think of the Parkle performance? Horrified, indifferent, vaguely pleased? What did they think? Overall, give it a rest. Ignoring the need for rest. It's the card of illness and needing to recover, the Four of Swords. Also a card that's coming up a lot in these readings at the moment. Four of Swords, after a heavy defeat or a heavy wound, in the Three of Swords, having to take time out, rest, reflect, contemplate, reassess, all of those things, heal, disappear from the public eye, but it's in reverse. They're looking at this and thinking you really need to stop. You need to disappear for a long time. Your reputations are trashed. It's a reputational ruin card for me, the Four of Swords. Your reputations are in tatters. You've so oversaturated the media with your stories, with your very often conflicting stories, so that nobody knows. Heads are spinning about who didn't invite whom over the Invictus Games service at St. Paul's and staying at royal accommodation in London and all of this stuff. The stories and counter stories just fly out with no regard for the truth and for consistency in the narrative. It's just crazy. Silly ideas. That's a very polite way of putting it. So the royals are like, please just stop. Please just calm down, take your medication. I'm being sarcastic here, and just disappear for a while. Go and get better. You clearly aren't well, my opinion that I'm expressing, and go and get the help that you need. Take some time out. So the impact of the sizzle reel on the royals. Impressed? Oh yes, we can work with these people. Again, another card that's popping up here. It's Harry, King of Pentacles. What they see when they get this messaging from the Parkles, and we know there is messaging because we have the Eight of Wands here, not just messaging to us through the media, but messaging to the royals as well. I'm pretty confident about that as an energy reader. They're getting that this is Harry's push full half in. It's not going to fly because we can see how horrified the royals are with the cards that have shown up here. Six of Wands in reverse, Five of Cups, Four of Swords in reverse. Seeing them for what they're about. But this is King of Pentacles. This is Harry's energy coming through. This is trying to reinstate Harry as a working royal because he's got nothing left. He's insistent on this. He keeps battering at the door, bashing at the door. Let me in, let me in, let me in. You need me. He cannot come to terms with the fact that it's done. It's finished. He is finished as a working royal. He will never be let back in. And he can't grasp that. And so this plan has been cooked up to make him seem royal again. And look, see, he was inspecting the troops and got, standing when they played God Save the King, and doing all the right things, but looking hungover, looking crumpled, looking surly, being dragged around by the claw. They don't want him back. But this is his pitch. I'm such a success. I'm so solid. The King of Pentacles is so solid. I'm so solid. The Harry-shaped hole in the monarchy. There it is. I could say about other shaped holes, but we won't get crude here today. Even though, the clothes that I've had to look at for the past few days have definitely been on the crude side. But that's just my opinion, of course. Not going to fly Harry, but he really is pounding at that door, that very, very closed door. That's my opinion, of course, and that's the reading, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.